The Primal Chaos City leader silhouette from Thousand Treasure River smiled. They can easily kill you, of course they know you're sending yourself to your death. However, all they want is face. You're a newly risen individual, lowering your head to the three great powers, it's nothing. And this time over 6,000 knights were killed at once. It's enough to shock the entire universe. Your name has spread far and wide. No warrior dares to look down on you, including the strongest in the universe. Luo Feng nodded. Even the opposing three great alliances, even if they wanted to kill him, they had to admit, they didn't dare look down on him. Teacher, letting my Masha clansmen escape is equivalent to letting them kill me. Luo Feng shook his head. Sending myself to my death, I don't like it. Even if they want to kill me in the future, they'll have to rely on their own strength to do so. Since you've decided to do so, teacher won't stop you, only the grudge between you and the three great alliances will only grow. What's there to be afraid of? Luo Feng smiled, his smile filled with absolute confidence. He, Luo Feng, stood tall in the universe relying on himself. Naturally he didn't fear any warrior. Alright. The Primal Chaos City leader silhouette nodded. Whatever needs to be done, just do it. Yes. Luo Feng smiled, immediately letting the Masha clansman out, his earth body entering the world ring. Shwa shwa shwa. Masha LuoFeng's silhouette flickered constantly. Within Thousand Treasure River's domain he wasn't affected at all. Every second he maintained a speed of millions of km. Within a minute or two he reached the nearest whirlpool pathway. One had to know, there were a total of 10,081 whirlpools on a primal planet. Every whirlpool pathway was about 1 billion kilometers apart. Time to go. Luo Feng immediately entered the whirlpool pathway and arrived at another primal planet, number 08293. Haha. Masha Luo Feng once again unleashed his natural ability domain. Within 5 minutes, he entered yet another whirlpool pathway and headed towards another primal planet. This was the natural ability domain. Natural abilities were all innate, some couldn't even be learned like the body technique, even many universe lords were envious of it. As for the domain, it allowed the Masha clones to fuse with the space around them and then leave. How could they fuse? This was because the Masha clansman was actually the life crystal core with 10,081 facets. Before it transformed, it had formed a resonance with the laws of space and was extremely sensitive. But he still couldn't fuse with the space. However, after absorbing the essence of the spatial heart, the vitality crystal core had transformed and completely fused with space. Even the masters of the universe and the strongest experts of the universe were unable to completely fuse with space and become a part of it. About 10 minutes after Luo Feng left the planet 02933, a majestic winding huge silver snake silhouette came out of the whirlpool pathway, floating in midair. Boom. Boundless might instantly filled the entire primitive star, and a powerful will also envelop the entire primitive star, instantly taking over control of the spacetime on this primitive star. The other lords of the universe's control over spacetime was far from being comparable to the universe's strongest expert. The universe's strongest expert could even make the universe's operating laws temporarily retreat. Of course, the primordial star was the place closest to the origin of the universe. The origin of the universe could not be provoked, and even the strongest experts in the universe could not teleport here. Even their flying speed could not surpass the speed of light. After all, in a true battle with the origin of the universe, the strongest would still be at a disadvantage. Ancestor Dream. All the universe lords, including the Primal Chaos City leader and Dragon leader, all expressed their respect. Primal Chaos, where's your disciple Luo Feng? Ancestor Dream's voice traveled through spacetime, resounding in the Primal Chaos City leader's ears. My disciple Luo Feng has long left this primitive star. The Primal Chaos City leader smiled. Since Ancestor Dream has come, then Dragon leader and I will leave first. Let's go. The Primal Chaos City leader and Dragon leader swiftly flew towards the whirlpool pathway not far behind them, entering it and leaving the primitive star. Umph. A cold snort resounded throughout the entire primitive star. Ancestor Dream was obviously furious. You 9 universe lords, begin heading to the other primitive stars, search them one by one and find traces of Luo Feng. Ancestor Dream ordered. Yes. The universe lord's search efficiency was extremely high. Arriving at a planet, they could immediately control the spacetime and easily search the entire planet. LuoFeng's Masha clansman disguise was useless. And each of the 3 races alliance had sent close to 10 universe lords to begin a large-scale search. After all, the treasure hunt on the primitive star this time had many universe lords on it. The only problem was that flying from one whirlpool pathway to another required quite a bit of time. Universe lords descended one by one, unleashing their control of spacetime, causing many of the universe lords on the primitive star to be extremely shocked. However, very quickly, they received news of the unbelievable event that happened on planet 02933. One had to know. The matter was so huge it couldn't be covered up at all. Plus the Great Alliance had been secretly adding fuel to the fire. The news spread extremely quickly. Luo Feng repelled Banfu leader? Unleashing one technique and killing over 6,000 universe lords at once, they were all at least high level, and many of them were universe overlords? You're not joking, right? It's true. The news has spread long ago. Over 6,000 universe lords killed in one move? Luo Feng has become a universe lord? My god. Blade River Emperor, no, he should be called Blade River Leader. Back then I was in the Ancestral God Sex Plaza watching his battle with Bark Mirror Emperor. How long has it been? 20,000 years and he's already become a universe lord? Miraculous, heavenly defying. This Luo Feng is too heavenly defying. Over 6,000 universe lords. If I can kill over 6,000 in one move, my name will spread throughout the universe and be sung by countless races. Even if I have to die immediately, I'd be willing. Crazy. The explosive news engulfed the trillions of races in the universe. Countless warriors went crazy. This was simply a legend. Luo Feng rose at an unbelievable speed, reaching a point where countless of them looked up to him, standing at the pinnacle, shoulder to shoulder with the other universe lords. And they all unanimously changed the title of Luo Feng to Blade River Leader. Luo Feng indeed stepped on the three races, stepped on over 6,000 lords, and finally his name shook the universe. This was equivalent to announcing to the trillions of races that he, Luo Feng, had officially entered the pinnacle of the universe. Number 03129 Primal Planet within a hill. A man dressed in a blood-red armor with a pair of golden horns on his head, wearing a mask and a tail extending from his armor, was leisurely leaning on a mound behind him. How relaxing. Luo Feng smiled. He used the Masha clansmen to quickly pass through one whirlpool after another. After passing through 3 whirlpools, he stayed on this planet 03129, allowing the Masha clansmen to swiftly enter the world ring, allowing the golden horned beast to take on the appearance of the Blood Cloud Palace Lord before coming out. Right now, the Masha clansman and his earth body were both in the world ring. Outside was the Blood Cloud leader, the renowned Blood Cloud Hall Master. Luo Feng leaned on the mound and laughed. Carefree. Fleeing before was really annoying, and he still had to consider the benefits of the Great Alliance, etc. Now that his identity had changed, to the Blood Cloud leader he had nothing to worry about. The entire world was his enemy. This kind of freedom, the feeling of being able to do whatever he wanted, it was truly delightful. Luo Feng extended his hand and a long shuttle with red engravings appeared. The long shuttle was thick at one end and sharp at the other. It seemed normal, however in truth it was a form of the star Pagoda after being disguised by the Blood Cloud Pearl. The Blood Cloud Pearl's disguising ability was extremely strong. Of course it couldn't be too ridiculous. He couldn't very well disguise the Star Pagoda as a domain treasure. That definitely wouldn't work. The Star Pagoda was originally in the shape of a pagoda, thick at the bottom and sharp at the top. Now with the disguise, it had become an ancient long shuttle. From then on, this long shuttle was the Blood Cloud leader's new weapon. When Luo Feng was leisurely lying on the primal planet for over an hour, a majestic silhouette stepped out of the whirlpool tunnel. He had a majestic body and a human form. On his head were 9 fiery red feelers, every one of them wrapped in flames. His eyes were like fiery red jade. He was the famous Heavy Fire Lord. Rumble. Endless pressure was immediately released, descending upon the entire primal planet. Ah, Universe Lord. The Universe Lord has arrived. Is he looking for the Blade River Lord Luo Feng again? The Universe Venerables from the various forces on the primitive planet were shocked at first. Then they quietly discussed among themselves. Clearly, according to their information, the Universe Lords of the 3 great alliances, the Demon Race, the Bug Race and the Mechanical Race, were conducting a large-scale search at this time. During the search, the Universe Lords from the other powers of the 10,081 primal planets were happily watching the show. They wanted to see whether the 3 great alliances would be busy until the end, or whether they would be able to kill Luo Feng. Heavy Fire Lord stood in mid-air, controlling time and space to scan the entire primal planet. While searching for Luo Feng, he discovered another being. A familiar life energy. A familiar pressure. A familiar armor. A familiar mask. This made Heavy Fire Lord's eyes filled with shock. Blood Cloud Leader. If Luo Feng had offended the 3 great alliances too much this time, then the Blood Cloud Leader had caused much more trouble. He was simply the nightmare of the trillions of races in the universe, the public enemy of the universe. Many universe supremacies and universe overlords had died at his hands. Even universe lords had been killed by him. I've discovered the Blood Cloud Leader. The Blood Cloud Leader is currently on number 03129 Primal Planet. Heavy Fire Lord immediately sent the news to the other upper echelon of the Demon Alliance, including Monster Dream and Monster Zhen. Ancestor Dream was still on that primal planet, quietly waiting for news. Number 08293 Primal Planet, no human Luo Feng found. Number 08448 Primal Planet, no human Luo Feng found. Number? The Masters of the Universe from the 3 alliances roamed the primordial stars. They quickly investigated and passed the information to Monster Ancestor Dream. Dream T, have you found Luo Feng? In the virtual space that covered the Dream Progenitor's secret realm, in front of the palace complex that belonged to Dream Progenitor Monster, a huge beast with a sawtooth shell came out of the darkness. It slowly descended and spoke to the silver snake below. Not yet. It's been so long and you still haven't found him? Ancestor Zhen roared softly. With Luo Feng's Masha clansman's speed, he's probably long escaped the primal planet, even returning to the human domain. I think so too. The huge silver snake head turned to look at the sawtooth beast. After all, normal universe night searching would be suicide, and universe lords, even in the 3 great alliances there are only a few of them and they're scattered everywhere. Just by rushing over, that Luo Feng would be able to escape very far. If he wanted to be found, he would have found out long ago. After so long and not finding him, Luo Feng must have returned to the human domain. Dream T, if that human Luo Feng has been hiding in the primal universe, what do we do? Ancestor Zhen asked. No choice. Ancestor Dream said, The Primal Universe is controlled by the Primal Chaos City leader. Even if we go there, we won't be a match for the Primal Chaos City leader who can control the entire Primal Universe. In the Primal Universe, the Primal Chaos City leader was invincible. The two of them were silent. This Luo Feng is actually so unwise. Ancestor Dream said, the four great races have fought for countless years, and no one has been able to destroy the other. As long as the strongest of the universe are there, the fights are all about face. Since this Luo Feng is able to unleash such a terrifying technique, he's obviously already a universe lord. Maybe he's not a universe lord, Ancestor Jin said. Jin Jiao, whether or not he's a universe lord doesn't make much of a difference. His battle strength is comparable to a universe lord's. Not only does he have the universe lord's ultimate technique, he even created the universe lord's strongest technique. These two techniques, one is at most a talent technique while the other was created by himself. He also has many clones. The huge silver snake head swam slowly, and there was a hint of a sigh in its eyes. Even if we go and destroy it, I'm afraid that we can only destroy a clone. We won't be able to hurt its core. If we can't get rid of him, it will only be a fight for face. If he's smart, he'll send a clone over. That's the end of this matter. Demon Ancestor Dream was a little angry. But he ran away and made the three alliances lose face, so this hatred is even greater. The three great alliances won't let him off easily in the future. Even though the three great alliances really wanted to kill Luo Feng, after all Luo Feng had made them suffer too much this time. However, they were the ones who set Luo Feng up first. Secondly, Luo Feng had the great alliance behind him. There was also the Ancestor God cult. After all, the Hong Alliance was one of the 9 superpowers in the universe. The Ancestral God sect was also protecting Luo Feng from behind. With Luo Feng being so strong, unless the 4 great races fought to the death, they wouldn't be able to touch Luo Feng. So he could only swallow this pain for now. If Luo Feng lowered his head, then their future battles wouldn't be too crazy. But now, at least Luo Feng and the 3 great alliances didn't even have a chance to recover. Demon Ancestor Dream, Zhen Monster, I've discovered the Blood Cloud Palace leader. The Blood Cloud Palace leader is currently on Primal Planet 03129. An urgent message arrived suddenly, shocking Demonic Ancestor Dream and Demonic Ancestor Zhen, who were talking about Luo Feng. Blood Cloud Palace leader? Both Demon Forefather Dream and Demon Forefather Zhen were shocked. That punk actually came out? Zhen Monster was filled with shock. He dares to come out? Humph, that madman. Demon Ancestor Dream was filled with rage. That's right, he's disappeared for millions of eras. It's rare for a primal planet to open. On it, it's very hard for the universe's strongest to kill him. It's not strange for him to appear. What do we do? Zhen Monster said. Of course we spread the news, let all the powers in the universe know. Demon Ancestor Dream said, this Blood Cloud Palace leader's escaping ability is extremely strong. Just our Demon Alliance alone has no way of taking him down. What's more, to kill him we'll have to pay a huge price. He's the universe's public enemy. Let everyone attack together, isn't that good? Zhen Monster nodded. Humph, how long has it been? He still dares to appear. Demon Ancestor Dream's eyes gleamed with coldness. The Demon Race Alliance took the initiative to spread the news that the Blood Cloud Hall Master had appeared on Primitive Planet 03129. Soon, the Insect Race Alliance, the Machine Race Alliance, the Human Race Alliance, the Astral Beast Alliance, the Prison Race Alliance, the Crystal Race Alliance, the Northern Border Alliance, the Ancestor God Sect. Aside from the 9 superpowers, the Thorny Ring Alliance, the 9 Territories Alliance, and other slightly weaker forces also knew about it. Ancestral God Sect, Ancestral God Palace. A furious voice resounded. Blood Cloud Palace leader? Blood Cloud actually appeared? He still dares to appear. Feng Tian God Lord, you will lead your 3 universe lords to the primal planet and kill that Blood Cloud. Yes, Ancestral God. One of the Ancestral God Sect's Divine Lord Protector, God Lord Feng Tian, immediately left the Ancestral God Palace with the other 3 universe lords. It's actually Blood Cloud. The Northern Border Alliance was one of the 9 great powers of the universe. In terms of experts, supremacies, and races, they had the most. Similarly, back then, when the Blood Cloud Hall Master was rampaging through the universe, his ferocious might filling the skies and killing countless. The one who paid the greatest price was also the Northern Border Alliance. They died too tragically. A large number of powerhouses had fallen. Peak universe overlords had fallen. Even a universe lord had fallen. There was no enmity, but just because he did not like a certain expert, the Blood Cloud Palace leader started a massacre. There were some experts who went to flatter the Blood Cloud Palace leader and tried to rope him into the North Border Alliance, but they were still trampled, imprisoned, and finally killed. In short, the Blood Cloud Palace leader was a madman, extremely evil. To be able to offend almost all the great powers of the universe was a kind of ability. After disappearing for more than 3 million eras, when the hatred from back then surged in the minds of the experts, the upper echelons of the North Border Alliance could not bear it either. The Blood Cloud Hall Master had undisguised contempt and disdain towards the Northern Frontier Alliance all those years ago, and he had slapped and humiliated them time and time again. Madman. This madman actually dares to show himself. Does he think that on the original star, the strongest of the universe can only fly so he's safer? Leave it to me, I'll teach him a lesson and kill him. I want to go too. He killed me back then, luckily the Alliance leader reversed time and space to revive me. Finally, I've become a universe lord. The hatred of killing me back then, the hatred of humiliating me, I have to go too. Very quickly. A total of 12 universe lords wanted to kill the Blood Cloud Palace leader. Space Beast Alliance, Space God Mountain. Blood Cloud? He still dares to show himself? The space primogenitor roared, the humiliation of our alliance back then, we'll use his death to wash it away. Primogenitor, I'll go kill him. I'll go too. This despicable bastard, back then when I just arrived he fled without a trace. This matter cannot be left out of the Golden Horn bloodline. Very quickly, including the universe lords on the original star, the Space Beast Alliance decided to send 4 universe lords to resolve this matter. And the 4 universe lords they sent were all extraordinary. Hong Alliance, Virtual Universe Hong Alliance City, Hong Alliance Palace. The creator of Huge Axe sat in the main seat, the other palace leaders sat around him. The Blood Cloud Palace leader, that old bastard, actually appeared. He disappeared for 3 million eras and still dares to appear. Huge Axe, what should we do? The Blood Cloud Palace leader didn't really offend us. Among all the powers in the universe, only we haven't suffered much from him. I think we shouldn't get involved in this matter. You all know the Blood Cloud Palace leader's methods. His Blood Cloud Palace is an escape treasure, it's already escaped many times. There was much discussion within the alliance, but no one was willing to get involved. After all, the Blood Cloud Palace leader didn't defend them. If they got involved and the Blood Cloud Palace leader took revenge, they would be in trouble. Let's see what the outcome will be when all the powers work together to deal with the Blood Cloud Palace leader. Huge Axe said. Number 03129, Primordial Star. Beside a mound. Dressed in a blood-red battle robe and wearing a blood-red mask, the Blood Cloud Palace master was leaning against the mound behind him, looking very relaxed and at ease. It's really crazy. From the news from Hong Alliance City, I reckon all the powers in the universe are going crazy. Teacher, you're too powerful. You've offended all the powers in the universe, other than the Great Alliance, to kill you. Luo Feng sighed within. With the change in status, even the Ancestral God Sect and the Space Beast Alliance who were close to him would probably want to kill him. It's about time. The news is about time. Luo Feng nodded. He immediately stood up. Luo Feng looked up at his surroundings, saying softly, controlling time and space to monitor my movements, I reckon all the powers have begun to move. Ha! Come on, if you want to kill me, come on, don't get killed by me in the end. Wah! Dressed in a blood-red battle robe with a pair of golden horns, Luo Feng broke through the skies and flew into the distance. The Deep Fire Lord who had been controlling space and time naturally monitored the movements of the Blood Cloud Palace. Naturally he could hear Luo Feng's words easily. This made the Deep Fire Lord's expression change. He knew he could control space and time, that Blood Cloud Palace leader definitely knew. However, he didn't expect him to be this arrogant. The Blood Cloud Palace is making the move. He's moving. He's heading towards the closest whirlpool pathway. Master of Deep Fire immediately reported to Ancestor Meng and Ancestor Zhen. However, all the powers in the universe were moving, obviously they hadn't formed a perfect encirclement yet. Master of Deep Fire, I order you to tie down the Blood Cloud Palace leader. Stop him. Ancestor Meng's order was immediately given. I'll stop him? Deep Fire Lord was immediately unwilling. Even though he was from the Demon Alliance, he wasn't a demon, but the leader of a strong race. The Blood Cloud Hall Master's ferocious reputation spread far and wide, and he had even killed 2 masters of the universe. His strength was definitely at the pinnacle of universe lords. Even though he, the Deep Fire Lord, wasn't weak, he was still lacking. Just hold him back. Demon Ancestor Dream ordered. What's more, you still have a clone. Even though I have a clone, this old punk hasn't appeared in over 3 million eras. I have no way of predicting what he has up his sleeves. If this clone of mine dies, the treasures will be taken by him. And I still have the Suppression Valley token. Deep Fire Lord wasn't willing to take the risk. He was the leader of a strong race, the entire race depended on him. If this clone of yours dies, when the Blood Cloud leader dies, he'll naturally return your treasures to you. Demon Ancestor Dream said, if the Blood Cloud leader escapes this, the Alliance will compensate half of your losses. You're also the famous Deep Fire Lord, don't tell me you can't even protect your life against him? Alright. Since the Demon Ancestor has promised, then I'll go hold him back. Deep Fire Lord didn't hesitate anymore. Rumble. He became a beam of light and swiftly chased after Luo Feng. Luo Feng wasn't far from the Deep Fire Lord, just a few 100 million kilometer Luo Feng was flying through the skies. Blood Cloud leader, wait a moment. A powerful voice resounded in his ears. Luo Feng laughed coldly and continued forward. Blood Cloud leader, I, the Deep Fire Lord, wish to have a chat with you. That powerful voice said again. Obviously the Deep Fire Lord didn't really wish to fight with Luo Feng. After all, the other powers had enmity with Luo Feng, while he himself didn't have much enmity with Luo Feng. As long as he could hold Luo Feng back, that would be a huge contribution. If the Blood Cloud leader died after this, he would naturally get a share of the treasures. Deep Fire Lord. You think I'm as stupid as you? Luo Feng said softly. You. The Master of Deep Fire was so angry that he couldn't speak for a moment. He couldn't help but sigh. No wonder Hall Master Blood Cloud had enemies all over the universe. He was just too ruthless. He clearly had no enmity with Hall Master Blood Cloud, but just by speaking to him, Hall Master Blood Cloud had directly called him a fool. Wasn't this an insult to a Master of the Universe? If any other expert had said this, the Master of Deep Flames would have roared in anger and wanted to fight. But these words were spoken by the infamous Blood Cloud Hall Master. His anger quickly dissipated. After all, that was Hall Master Blood Cloud's temperament to begin with. Otherwise, how could he have offended the major powers of the universe? One was flying in front, and the other was chasing behind. Hall Master Blood Cloud is escaping as fast as he can. I can't catch up with him, so I can only follow him for now. Master of Deep Fire followed him from afar. At the same time, he sent messages to Ancestor Dream and Ancestor Zhen. After a while, following that, Luo Feng flew into a whirlpool pathway. He has entered the whirlpool tunnel. The whirlpool tunnel leads to primitive planet 06231, Master of Deep Flame immediately reported. The news immediately spread from the Demon Alliance. It was all spread amongst the absolute beings. Within moments, everyone knew that Blood Cloud Hall Master had already entered primitive planet 06231. Star River Master, we are about to reach the coordinates of Blood Cloud Hall Master on planet 03129. The 6 universe lords of the Northern Border Alliance were flying in the air above a primordial planet. Leading them was the Galaxy Lord, who held an extremely high position in the Northern Border Alliance. Although the Northern Border Alliance had 12 universe lords participating in this operation, the other 6 universe lords were already on the primordial planet and were rushing over from their respective primordial planets. Stop. Star River Master spoke. The other 5 silhouettes in mid-air stopped simultaneously. They all looked at the Star River Master, a tall dark space. Blood Cloud Hall Master has already left planet 03129. He's arrived at planet 06231 through the whirlpool tunnel. Star River Master said. Then what do we do? This is going to be troublesome. The other 5 felt that things weren't going well. What's the fastest route to the whirlpool tunnel on planet 06231? Star River Master ordered. We'll spend the least time traveling through 8 primitive planets, one of the universe lords said. In that case, let's go. Star River Master ordered. Boom. The 6 universe lords immediately changed direction. When the news spread, many of the factions chasing after Blood Cloud Hall Master were very dissatisfied. However, there was nothing they could do. Every primitive planet had a total of 10,081 whirlpool tunnels. This was one of the most difficult things to pursue. Perhaps, this was also one of the reasons why Blood Cloud Hall Master had appeared on a primitive planet. Deep Flame Master's towering figure also stepped into the whirlpool tunnel and entered another primitive planet. As soon as he entered, before he could even control the spacetime around him. Deep Flame Master looked into the distance in shock. In the distance, about 100 million kilometers away, there was an endless black fog spreading out. Within that endless black fog, there was a faintly discernible ancient palace. In front of that ancient palace, there was a figure standing in midair, seemingly indistinct in the black fog. Blood Cloud Hall. The Master of Deep Fire immediately recognized the famous treasure. Blood Cloud Hall was a top treasure of the Flying Palace. It was a whole level higher than Skywolf Hall. Incomparably sturdy, even the strongest experts in the universe would find it hard to destroy this Blood Cloud Hall. Moreover, it could emit a black fog that spanned over 100 billion kilometers. Black fog lingered around the majestic palace. This was Blood Cloud Hall. It was only by relying on Blood Cloud Hall that he could escape death time and time again. This Blood Cloud Hall Master actually didn't flee? Deep Flame Master was secretly shocked. Haha, Deep Flame Master, why are you afraid? The black fog spread out, covering Deep Flame Master. His voice rang out, aren't you chasing me? It's been a long time since I've fought. Now I'll give you this chance. Deep Flame Master snorted angrily. This Blood Cloud Hall Master actually didn't put him in his eyes at all. Haha, you really don't have the guts. The Blood Cloud Hall Master's voice resounded, then I won't keep you company. Blood Cloud, if you have the guts, don't flee. Deep Flame Master saw the Blood Cloud Hall Master continue to fly away. He immediately roared and became a beam of light and flew over. Ha ha ha. The Blood Cloud Hall Master waved his hand and stored the Blood Cloud Hall. He wielded his long shuttle and flew over. I'll let you know my power. Deep Flame Master wielded his 2 huge hammers. The 9 feelers above his head burned with flames as he roared. Luo Feng wielded his long shuttle and swiftly flew over. At the same time, he sighed. Within the trillions of races in the universe, especially the absolute beings, there were many who used hammers as weapons. Over 100 million kilometers, the 2 flew towards each other and arrived in an instant. Blood Cloud, prepare to die. Deep Flame Master roared. As the hammer swung out, it was naturally accompanied by an enraged roar. This roar seemed to come from the primordial era of the universe. The Lord of Deep Fire was an existence that had completely mastered the fire and space beast god Daos. As he swung his hammer, the stable space around him shattered like glass being crushed by a tank. With just you. Luo Feng's current height was over 1,000 kilometers. Deep Flame Master 2 was over 1,000 kilometers tall. In Luo Feng's hands, the long shuttle made of the star Pagoda and Blood Cloud Pearl had reached over 3,000 kilometers long. Go and die. Luo Feng stared at his opponent from afar. His entire body's god energy had long ignited and poured straight into the long shuttle in his hands. Up till now, Luo Feng had only comprehended the first level of the complex engravings of the Star Pagoda. Even though he was close to comprehending the second level, he was still lacking a little. He couldn't completely activate it. Hence, he had to expend more god energy, and its power wasn't as strong as the second level. Activating the Star Pagoda long shuttle. Through the long shuttle, he executed the ultimate secret technique of the Master of the Universe, Sanguine Light. This was also the first time he used this newly created ultimate secret technique of the Master of the Universe in battle. Shatter. The Master of Deep Flames roared. The God Hammer's power was endless. In an instant, it felt as though the land and skies were collapsing. Suddenly a glaring blood-colored shuttle flashed past. It was terrifyingly fast, even the hammers of Deep Flame Master didn't have time to block it. Chi. The blood-colored shuttle pierced straight into Deep Flame Master's chest. Peng. Deep Flame Master bit his teeth and smashed his hammer into the Blood Cloud Leader's body. Both of them flew backwards. How can he be so fast that I didn't even have time to block it? Although the Master of the Deep Fire had guessed that the Blood Cloud Hall Master would have changed after not seeing him for more than 3 million epochs, he hadn't expected that he would be able to move so quickly by using his new supreme treasure, the long shuttle. Although he hadn't been prepared, it was still too fast. Indeed, the Blood Cloud Leader. Even with my body size, he was still able to cause me to lose close to 1% of it. His power is definitely at the pinnacle of the Universe Lords. Deep Flame Master was shocked within. Luckily it's just this once. Next time, I won't let him attack my body directly. Normally when two people fought. Usually when weapons clashed, the remaining power would be much weaker after the weapon was used to block. However, it was purely exchanging blows. Without a weapon to block, Luo Feng's shuttle pierced straight into Deep Flame Master's body, while Deep Flame Master's hammer smashed into Luo Feng. The Calamity armor is indeed powerful. It can weaken the attack to 1/100,000th of its power. That hammer's toll on my body is almost negligible, I can completely recover in an instant. Luo Feng looked at the long shuttle in his hand. Indeed an absolute treasure. I can only use the first level to control it. I can only unleash a small portion of its power. It's much stronger than my strongest attack when I fought against Master of Banfu School. Luo Feng had made ample preparations for this battle. The Calamity armor was after all much stronger than the Beast God armor. Hence, Luo Feng temporarily swapped with his Earth body. This Blood Cloud Leader temporarily wore the armor, wielding the Star Pagoda shuttle. Blood Cloud Leader, respect. However, you won't have a chance. Deep Flame Master roared. Ha, anyone can talk big. Luo Feng and Deep Flame Master clashed once more. Deep Flame Master used all his strength to defend this time. He wasn't able to defend against the first hammer, however he was able to barely block the second. This caused Luo Feng to only be able to send Deep Flame Master flying. The Star Pagoda's power is too strong. I've only unleashed a portion of it. Back when I fought Banfu Leader with the support of the miniature universe, I was only able to suppress him. Right now I'm basically trampling on Deep Flame Master. Luo Feng completely felt the strength of the Star Pagoda. Every thrust was terrifyingly fast. The force of the attack also sent Deep Flame Master flying. This complete suppression and trampling made Luo Feng feel an unprecedented sense of satisfaction. Becoming the Blood Cloud Leader made Luo Feng feel extremely free. Right now he was using the Star Pagoda to trample on the Universe Lord. It made Luo Feng incomparably happy. The second level of the Star Pagoda engraving was just a little bit away from completely comprehending it. Plus he had already comprehended the 5th level of the Beast God path before coming to Primal Star. His understanding of the engraving was even deeper. Plus with his current mental state, during his 35th clash with Deep Flame Master, he had unknowingly completely activated the 2nd level engraving. Luo Feng was completely immersed in the killing. In an extremely excited state, he actually broke through the 2nd level of the Star Pagoda law engravings. One had to know, ever since he acquired the Star Pagoda, other than studying the Beast God path, he had been constantly studying the engravings to solve the wonders of the Star Pagoda. Because Luo Feng was very clear, the Star Pagoda was his strongest trump card. Like creating the Heavy Mountain, Golden Mountain, and even another Universe Lord's ultimate technique Blood Light, they were all done on a whim, casually and without much effort. Even the 2nd level of the Wu Killer Wings was obviously easier than the 2nd level of the Star Pagoda, however Luo Feng didn't actively study it. He was always studying the mysteries of the Star Pagoda. This was even harder than creating the Universe Lord's ultimate technique. Until today, using the identity of the Blood Cloud Leader to roam the universe freely, he was extremely free. He could even trample on the high and mighty Universe Lords. He actually broke through the last obstacle under his extreme joy. Rumble. Countless amounts of burning god energy swiftly penetrated deeper into the Star Pagoda. The many pillars within the pagoda, the engravings on the ceiling stars all lit up, their power swiftly rising. And before, as he only broke through the 1st level of engravings, the amount of god energy required to activate the pagoda was extremely high. Now even though it was much lesser, its power had obviously risen. Luo Feng and the Deep Fire Leader clashed for the 35th time. Indeed the Blood Cloud Leader completely suppressing me. However, I can completely take it. Every stab of my twin hammers can block it. Every time it consumes very little energy from my god body. If I continue fighting, I can definitely drag it out until the Universe Lords from the various powers arrive. Even though the Deep Fire Leader was being trampled on, he didn't feel humiliated at all. Didn't he see who was the one trampling on him? His name was well known, ferocious and powerful. He had even killed 2 Universe Lords, offended almost every power in the universe, yet he was still alive and well. The Blood Cloud Leader. Being trampled on by the Blood Cloud Leader was normal. If he himself was on par with the leader, that would be weird. The two of them clashed again like flowing lights. Luo Feng allowed it to happen naturally, immediately activating the second level of the Star Pagoda. The ridiculously fast Star Pagoda shuttle immediately made a creaking sound, almost as though the gates of heaven and earth were being pushed open. That blood-red shuttle suddenly expanded and became larger, from a mere 1,000 kilometers long shuttle. It instantly became tens of thousands of km long, forcing Luo Feng to follow suit and swiftly reach a height of over 10,000 kilometers. Only then did he feel comfortable holding such a huge shuttle. Pung. Wherever the shuttle pointed, a terrifying whirlpool would appear. The whirlpool shattered the surrounding space, shredding a large amount of land and weeds on the primitive planet. Impossible. The Master of Deep Fire widened his eyes. The flames on the 9 horns on his head soared into the sky. He roared and tried his best to seal the pair of divine hammers in front of him. This seal was like the wall of the universe. The long shuttle brought with it a whirlpool that shattered the universe space. It pierced the center of the twin hammers, and the twin hammers struck the chest of the Master of Deep Fire. Pung. The Master of Deep Fire immediately became a beam of light and flew backwards. His speed was terrifying. How can this be? Even though Luo Feng was shocked that he could suddenly break through the second level of the Star Pagoda, his consciousness revolved at an incredible speed. He knew that this wasn't the time to be shocked. While he's weak, I'll take his life. So, Luo Feng became a beam of light and followed closely. Master of Deep Fire was really stunned at this moment. That terrifying stab just now made him shudder. The stab landed on his twin hammers and the hammers smashed into his chest. The boundless impact instantly ravaged his top-grade armor, reaching the limit of a top-grade armor. The intense impact caused his huge god body to tremble. Rumble. It actually destroyed 32% of my god body? The Master of Deep Fire was truly shocked. Who was he? A Universe Lord. And an existence that had stepped into the Universe Lord realm for countless years. His god body's genetic level was over 1,000 times stronger. He too wore a top-grade armor, and his body was over 1,000 km long. In the vast universe, there were very few who could destroy 32% of his god body in one move. All of them were terrifying beings in the universe. The Blood Cloud Palace leader was strong. However, the Blood Cloud Palace leader in history wasn't as strong as he was now. Take another stab from me. The blood-red silhouette descended once more. That huge blood-red long spear pierced through the sky. Everywhere it passed, it formed a terrifying whirlpool, destroying the incomparably stable primal space. There was no way to block it. The Master of Deep Fire was once again thrown far away. Luo Feng followed like lightning. How can his attacks be so terrifying? The Master of Deep Fire swiftly realized that he only had 29% of his god body left. Looking at the incoming blood-red silhouette, he communicated mentally, I didn't expect to appear again. The Blood Cloud Palace leader's strength is even more terrifying than before. It's not a shameful thing for my body to fall under his hands. Rumble. Following a dazzling explosion, even under the powerful bindings of the Primal Star, it still engulfed an area of over 10 million kilometers before being destroyed. Haha, a Universe Lord's treasure. Luo Feng extended his hand. His god energy binded and immediately kept the world ring, the huge hammers, the top-grade armor and the green seed-like treasure into his own world ring. After which he immediately became a beam of light and flew into the distance. In mid-air the wind blew past. It was incomparably cool. Luo Feng flew through the air towards the distant space whirlpool. I actually killed the Universe Lord. Luo Feng felt his blood boiling. Even though he understood immediately after killing that the Master of Deep Fire had a clone, because the treasures still had life imprints on them. However, the distance was too far. Even though the Master of Deep Fire could sense them, he couldn't retrieve them. He could totally spend some time and use his god energy to forcefully destroy the imprints. Even though it's just a clone and he hasn't truly died, he's still a Universe Lord. Luo Feng was incredibly excited. He couldn't help but look at the long spear in his hand. Absolute treasure Star Pagoda, it's indeed an absolute treasure. Our human race doesn't even have one absolute treasure. Just one is enough to be our race's treasure, our sex treasure. No wonder. Its power was too strong. When he first activated the first level, in terms of god energy, the Master of Deep Fire surpassed Luo Feng. In terms of techniques, they were equal. Only in terms of treasures did Luo Feng have an incomparably huge advantage. The Master of Deep Fire too used a pair of god hammers. However, compared to the absolute treasures, the difference in power was too huge. Just activating the first level treasure. Not only did it negate Luo Feng's difference in god energy, it also completely crushed him. And when Luo Feng broke through the second level, this allowed Luo Feng, whose god body was only comparable to a Universe Lord's 100x gene level, to rely on the Star Pagoda. His battle strength was completely comparable to the pinnacle of Universe Lords. The difference in god body was completely made up for by the Star Pagoda. Even the famous Primal Chaos City leader, Star River leader, 9 Underworld leader, none of them had an absolute treasure. Even the creator of the huge axe didn't have one, yet Luo Feng did. Absolute treasure. Just the second level engravings are much more complicated than the Universe Lord's ultimate techniques. I feel like it's completely comparable to I Am the Universe. Luckily I have the engravings, I just need to know how to activate them. Luo Feng exclaimed within, if I can activate the third level of the Star Pagoda, how terrifying would that be? The second level engravings were already comparable to I Am the Universe. And when these engravings were combined with the entire star pagoda, the power they unleashed was much more powerful than just using I am the universe. And the third level? Haha. With the star pagoda, the universe is huge, where can't I go? Luo Feng was extremely happy. Suddenly, a powerful pressure descended, the entire primal planet space was instantly controlled. However, the damage from the battle before had already been completely repaired, no traces could be seen. Control space? The universe lord is here. Luo Feng immediately understood, this was just the first wave, very quickly the second and third wave would arrive. Blood Cloud Leader. Blood Cloud Leader, if you have the guts, don't flee. An ear-piercing sound like an electric saw resounded around Luo Feng. Who do you think you are, to shout in front of me? Luo Feng laughed loudly. The whirlpool pathway had already appeared before him. He immediately flew towards it and entered it, leaving this primal planet and arriving at another primal planet. This made the two universe lords that were tens of billions of km from Luo Feng furious and helpless. They could only immediately report, Blood Cloud Leader has entered primal planet 08625. Deep Fire Secret Region, the largest universe secret region with a diameter of 800,000 light-years, it was also the core of the Jiuhua clan. Their clan leader, the Deep Fire Leader, lived here. The entire Jiuhua clan selects the absolute geniuses once every 10,000 years, and they would be led into the Deep Fire Secret Region to receive the best training. Within the Deep Fire Secret Region, a huge mountain range that was over 100 million km long floated in space. Suddenly, a huge eye opened on the mountain wall. It was filled with shock and unwillingness. It's a pity. Back then I chose Li Huashan as my body, it was destined to be hard to move. Otherwise, my Jiuhua body wouldn't have been killed so easily. The Master of Deep Fire sighed. Back then, when he was roaming outside at the Sector Lord level, he had a special encounter and obtained the secret technique of the universe, the second clone, which gave him the ability to nurture another clone. At that time he had many ideas and in the end he chose Li Huashan, who had an extremely large divine body. However, the bigger the body, the more inflexible it was. If it was too big, even its flying speed would be slow. Ridiculously big, even making it hard to move. Like the world tree, even though it could move on that island, it didn't want to move as it was too tiring. The Deep Fire Leader's Li Huashan had a diameter of over 100 million km. Even moving it was extremely tiring, much less heading to the primal planet. However, the Blood Cloud Leader's strength is really powerful. Too strong. When he first fought me, he completely suppressed me. After which, with a thrust of his shuttle, the universe space was shattered into a whirlpool. Is it an even stronger technique? The Deep Fire Leader only felt that the thrust's power was overwhelming, completely different from before. Looks like this time there's a high possibility of a universe lord falling. In history he killed 2 universe lords, could it be that he will kill a third?